Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and I'm so excited to show you this new kit from By the Wall for God called Handcrafted. Now this kit is October's By the Wall for God kit, and it is still on pre-sale right now as I am uploading this video, so make sure you run and grab it if you haven't yet. But let me kind of show you what comes in the kit and then all the little extras. And then make sure to stay to the end because I did do a bit of crafting and found ways to use all the different stamps and stencils. So I have a lot of ideas for you at the end of this video. So let's kind of jump in and start with the goodie bag. Now with this goodie bag, there was a couple things that are new. This was for the first 300 orders that spent over $50. And this was made with By the Wall for God's new Glow Forge. And I think it's made out of maple wood, Lori said. And it comes spooled kind of with a bunch of thread that you can use in your kit, and also has a cute little button sticker on the back side to hold that thread in place. So I can't wait to find some place to put this up in my craft room. I think I might end up kind of pinning it on my bulletin board, like holding it up with thumbtacks. I think that would be really cute. Okay, so the next thing that came in the goodie bag, this is the real goodie bag right here. This was just for the first 300 orders that spent over $50. But in the main goodie bag, you have these items. So you have little tabbies, and then you also have these library cards. Now, what's really cool about these this month is that the lines are stitched. So it is so cute. I think it fits perfectly, obviously, with this kit. And then you also have these two stickers. So you have your label stickers, and these have a button background. And then you also have these clear stickers that are buttons. Now you could leave them as clear stickers, or you could put them on white cardstock like I usually do and just use them as little ephemera pieces. So that is what comes in the main goodie bag, is these three things. You also get a sneak peek of next month's kit, which is adorable. So don't miss out on that. And if you did spend over $37, then you get a stamp, and this is the stamp that I got this month. Now, it's not guaranteed that you will get this exact stamp. Sometimes they rotate the stamps, and if you order this kit, say, in 3 months, you're not most likely not going to get this stamp. But isn't it darling? I love it. I do have a little tip and trick at the end of how I use this stamp set, and I can't wait to use it in my Bible journaling pages. Okay, so now that we talked about the goodie bag, let's move on to the main kit. Now, By the Wall for God is amazing, and really all you need to Bible journal is this kit. Now, there is a ton of extras, and they are gorgeous, and I love them to death. But if you're on a budget, this is a wonderful kit and basically the only thing you'll need. So let's dive into this kit and see what comes in it. Now, the main thing that you're going to get with your kit that's most important is your devotional. So let's talk about that first. Now, this devotional was written by our very own Lori, and I am so excited to read this one. It sounds like it's going to be a great little devotional. Let me read a little bit of the introduction, and then we'll move on. I don't want to give it all away. But it says, Psalms 139, 13 through 14. For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And then she says, God did not create us or this world and have any deficiency in his being. Simply put, God can in no way be improved upon. So why did our Heavenly Father create us? Isaiah 43:7 tells us that God created us for his glory. The Bible teaches us that God does everything to communicate and show us his glory, his greatness, and his riches. His abundant perfection is on full display as a constant outpouring of his unending love. And so obviously there is a bunch more, like any other By the Wall for God devotional. There is a 14-day study. What I really like about them is they put a bibliography in the back so you can check the different things that they quoted. I love that. And it's meant so that you can read one day and then journal the next, and then that kind of fills up your month. However, for me, being a mom of 3 littles, a lot of times I just sit down one night and read the whole thing through once. And then I will kind of star the ones that really spoke to me. And then after that, I will kind of more slowly go through each of the devotionals, even the ones I didn't star. And then I'll start working on them. And sometimes as I Bible journal, I might do day 13 first and then day 1. I kind of jump all around, but that's just how I work through this kit. Okay, so next up in this kit, we have our kit sticker with this spool of yarn. And then we have a number of little cards. Sometimes they get stuck to the back of this. Yes, it's staticky. So we have John 18:36, and then some lines, and then this floral is gorgeous, Matthew 6:25. I love this. It's so vintage and I love it. And then a little knitting and Psalm 139:13-14. So those are our little cards. Now you can use these simply as journaling cards and just use this back side to run it through your typewriter or write it out. Or you can use this side and not have to write anything. So those are great. They also are a good size for tip-ins or for memory decks cards. Next up, we'll talk about stickers. Now, these are the clear stickers. Like I said before, I often put these on regular plain white paper and use them as die cuts. That's simply because I use so much of like cluster making in my Bible journaling that I don't really put anything flat on the page. I do a lot of mixed media backgrounds, and so I don't use them that much as clear stickers, but I do still use them by just putting them down on some white paper and then fussy cutting them out. They work great that way, and then it also gives you more opportunities for florals without printing new ones. And this month, look guys, we have zippers as a washi. I love this idea. I think it's going to go great with this kit. And next up, we have our alphas and numerical stickers. Now, these are opaque. You cannot read through them, and they have this great floral with a black background. I think is one of my favorite papers that I can't wait to show you. Then we have our little tabs. We have a black and kind of like a sea foam green kind of color. And then we have a verse on the back, Isaiah 43:6-7. Now, I did want to show you these. These are Daniel Smith watercolors. They are very pigmented, and so you don't need a lot of color to get a good color payoff with them. And since these colors of the kit are so light and kind of neutral colors, you're going to want to water these down a lot, because if you just swatch some on like a paintbrush or a water brush, you're going to get red. You're not going to get that pink, nice color. You're going to get a very dark red. So you want to make sure you can even use like a non-stick mat or a glass mat and kind of just play around with your colors and make sure that they're the right color and watered down enough before you put it on the page. We also have our little pin that says knit together this month. And then we have our kit stamp. Now, this is really cool. I love this little mannequin. We have a spool of thread, a thimble, and some buttons. And I love this little safety pin. There's another safety pin in another kit I think will work great. And we also have this little package of needles. There's so many good things in this kit. I can't wait to show you what I've thought of and just kind of start working through this kit and pages. And here is a couple of ideas on how you might color these or use them in your Bible journaling. Okay, so the last thing that comes in the physical kit is the ephemera. And guys, the ephemera is one of my favorite things. I didn't undo this, I'm sorry. But, okay, not too much crinkling there. So we have a couple of mannequins. So we have those. And then we have some florals, which I love. I love these. I don't know. I just feel like they look very vintage. So I love those. And then we have those spools of thread and scissors. And then we also have some journaling cards. We are not enough. And some places to use them on the back. Made in his likeness. Live by the word. His royal priesthood. Purposed creation. Oh, that's cool how they did pink on the back so you could write. And then created for his glory. And then the last couple things are some, let me use the edge of the table. These old Singer sewing machines. They are so beautiful. Let me just hold them up so you can see. And then our texture for this month is this little ribbon measuring tape. So let's move on to all the kind of additions that you could pick up with this kit. Okay, so the first add-on that I got was Journal Set 2. Now they also have a completely different one of Journal Set 1, which is like a sewing pattern and then all these different like sewing items. And so that one was really cute as well, but I love this floral, so I decided on a Journal Set 2, and I'm really happy with this color. So these are just blank on the inside, and they also have a really cool pattern on the inside. So these are the mannequins on the inside of this one, and then we also have mannequins on the inside of this one. So those are the journal sets. They are great if you want to work in something besides your Bible, or if you are wanting to take notes for the devotional. I use them everywhere. I use them for sermon notes. I use them for grocery lists or for planning. So these are wonderful things to just have in your stash. Okay, as we talk about more things that coordinate with this kit, this was the coordinating fabric this month. Now they did create this one to match the kit, and everyone will get this fabric. Each one of these are 10 by 12, and then the one that came with mine is this beautiful like peachy color. I really love these neutral pinks and peaches lately, and so I'm super happy to have gotten this one. But all the colors that they had with the coordinating fabrics were beautiful, so you will not be disappointed. Okay, I can't fold those back up. So next thing we have are these word flashcards. Now everyone is loving these, and so am I. I have a certain way that I use them now. I love just dog earing them and either sewing something here or putting a brad in this corner after I dog ear it, or even using my tiny attacher, and they each coordinate with the devotionals. So you can, what I do actually is I will take my devotional, read through it, and I will put each one of these in that day so I don't forget to use them, because I love them so much. And what's great about this month is we have a lot of neutrals. Even that pink, like I said, that peachy pink is kind of a neutral. The blue and the green, everything is just kind of toned down, so it's very easy to create a page with these this month especially. We also have our patterns of faith. These are the journaling cards for this month, and you can see it says pattern info, size, recipient, target date, priority, project stage, steps to take, and notes. So you could send this through your typewriter and put your notes for that Bible journaling day. This is for like a swatch, so you could do a swatch of fabric, a swatch of paint, or whatnot. but they come in 4 different colors, and you get 3 of each color. So you have a blue, a sage, a pink, and then like this a buff color. We also have our tile alphas. These are a love of so many people, and I love the cute little polka dots, and it's like a fabric texture in the background for 4 of these, and then we have a staple black, which I'm loving. Then everyone is loving these as well, guys. These have been one of my staples for the pages I create. I love just adding my verse to these, sending it through my typewriter. I will send the whole thing through my typewriter usually, and then either just peel it up and put it on a piece of paper again, so I can use it as an ephemera piece, and then I can move it around before I actually glue it down. Or you can actually peel this up, put it on a piece of paper, and then send it through your typewriter, or just write it out if you don't have a typewriter. You don't need a typewriter. I love my typewriter, but that's just because the style of pages that I love to do. So you have all of these colors for the labels this month. And then look, guys, this is so pretty. We have mannequin stencil this month, and I can't wait to show you what I did with it. I have a couple of other ideas, but this is going to be all over my pages this month. We also have our clear alpha stickers. So we have this clear black floral, then we have that greenish blue, and then more of a green, and then peach, and then almost like a tattered rose color with peach polka dots, and then a solid black, which I'm loving, and then also that the button pattern. Sorry, can't even talk right now. So those are those in that pile. And then we have, I don't want to move those. Well, let's do with paper first. I'm thinking out loud, guys. Okay, this paper pack is my favorite out of any By the Wall for God kit. So let's jump in and show you kind of what you get. So this is the 6x8 paper pack. You are getting 24 double-sided papers, 3 of each design. So I'm just kind of gonna flip through these and show you each one. So this one kind of has tiles of different ephemera pieces included in this kit. And then you have this kind of diamond black pattern on the back side. Sorry, you might be getting a glare. There you go. Then we have these little yarn, and I just love the little ivy growing up. And it also has that By the Wall for God truck. I don't know if you can see in the little yarn labels, but there's the By the Wall for God truck. And then the back side of these ones are this graphed kind of square pattern. Then we have zippers, and this is sewing pattern. Let me hold it up for you. It is so pretty. I love this. There's so many ideas just going through my head. And then we have this black floral that everyone is loving, especially those on our creative team. And then buffalo check. Now this is hard because these are like 2 of my favorite pages and they're back to back, but it's all good. And then we have all these kind of bits and bobs of sewing stuff. Now this is the one that was another, I think this is the one that was another journal cover. And then you have like this polka dot on the back. And then this is really pretty, a nice little greenery piece. And then we have this graph. I love this one. Great neutral. I think it's going to go well with so many things. Including this kit, but just in general, I love this one. And then we have buttons, and then this, which matches kind of this. I just realized that. So it matches kind of the design of this fabric, which is kind of cool. And I think they had one of these colors as an option for the fabric. And then you have this floral. I love this one as well. And then the little mannequins on the back side. So those are our papers for this kit. Like I said, these are definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite paper pack from any By the Well for God kit. Okay, now we have more scripture cards. These are so fun to use, and I think they make a great gift. If you like decorated them up some, I think they would be lovely. Sorry, they are difficult to get out. Okay, perfect. So in this matches perfectly with the kit created for his purpose. And then each one is going to have a verse and then kind of just a pattern paper side. So, whoops. The little cutting machine gave me some extra paper. And these are so fun to decorate. I've done a couple of them. I haven't finished one yet, but I'm working through them slowly, and they're great if you don't have a ton of time to Bible journal. Like if you have young kiddos, you only have a little amount of space to fill and to embellish. So these work great for that. I'm not going to go through all of them, but they are beautiful. You also get 2 rings to go with them. Mine are black just because they ran out of the regular stock ones. But they have, let me grab them real quick. The regular ones are this like copper color. So, and I'll show you kind of what I've used mine. So this is kind of how I embellish mine. And I've done a couple different pages in each one of these. They're really fun. So that is the scripture cards. And let's now move on to stamps. Okay, guys, there are so many good stamps this month. So let's start off with the ones that you could add on to your kit. These were the ones that are available for pre-sale. You get a great deal on them. If you order one with your kit, it is $12. And if you order 2 or more, they drop down to $10. So you're getting a fabulous deal because usually they're $15. Also, you never know if they're going to come back in stock. So this is the time to buy. That's why I'm definitely trying to get this out as the pre-sale is still on. So you can pick these up as well. So the first one we have is Stitching with Jesus. And this is wonderful for those of you who love the stitching look, but don't have a sewing machine, or say you like to hand stitch or just know how to hand stitch. You could stamp these out and just hand stitch them and have that pattern to follow, so you can still get that look with real thread, but you're not kind of having to make your own lines. That can be a little tricky with hand stitching. So this is a great one to use. I can't wait to use this all throughout the month and actually all throughout the year. I think it's going to be great. We also have Design for Glory. Now you can see my stamps are a little dirty because I was using them, but here's that other safety pin and that embroidery hoop. And you also have this kind of a spool of measuring tape and some embroidery floss, and also this tag I think is so cute. You could even cut this tag out and then thread, like do a little hole punch and thread your own thread through. So some fun ideas here. You also have Sewn and Seamed. Let me just flip this over so you can get a good view of this one. I love the colors that they chose to use this one. And I think this is going to be a staple for so many. And this one, definitely I have some fun ideas for. So make sure to stick around. And then we have Cable Collage. Now this one is dirty already because I've used it. So let me flip it over. This is like a cable knit sweater. It's going to be like a background stamp. They did another like a wallpaper a couple kits ago. I think it was 2 kits ago, and I loved that one for creating backgrounds. These are great mixed media starter stamps. So if you're wanting to try mixed media but don't know kind of where to start, this is it. We also have Knit Together. Look at this cute little mug and this little kind of spool of yarn. I think this one's adorable as well, especially for all you who love to knit. So those were the ones that you could add on to the kit. And then let's talk about some extras. Let me grab these 2 together. Now, earlier this year, we had the Matthew Alpha, and it was a 6x8, and I loved that Alpha. I love it. But I was really hoping that we could get a mini typewriter because I love the typewriter look. But I know so many of you don't necessarily have typewriters, and I love, even though I have a typewriter, sometimes I love using this kind of font on fabric, and so I wanted one exactly like it as a mini. So I'm so excited that Lori created this Lil'Matthew. I can't talk, sorry. And then also we have Matthew Middle, which is going to be just kind of an average size alpha. Let me grab my ruler. So each one of these is, let's see, about 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. So those are that. Sorry. So obviously the bigger ones are going to be more towards 3/4 of an inch, and the regular lowercase are more like 1/2 inch. So Matthew Alphas. We also have this wonderfully made stamp. This is an adorable little sheep, and once I stamped it, I fell in love with it even more. You also have Psalms 139, 13 through 14 on the back side. This will kind of give you a taste, a preview, but wait till the end and I'll show you what I did with mine. This is the Gift Ave. Now, if you remember, wow, it was probably a while ago, but By the Well for God had a storefront that was so fun to color. I actually did an Instagram reel watercoloring it all in, and I loved it. I think it would make a great card, but this one I'm so loving. I cannot wait to make some Christmas cards with this one, and it's just beautiful. It has like Tim's toys, coffee, Luke's books, let's see, Fibers by Lydia. We have the same girl with the hat. If you remember, there was a girl sitting on a porch on the other stamp set. You have some of the same kind of elements, which is really cool. You have that little mini cat again, which was kind of funny. But yeah, so this is the Gift Ave. Definitely a great Christmas card one, or just for making some Christmas decorations for your house. I think it'd be cool to create one and then just put it in a frame as a decoration. So the Gift Ave. Now, for all of you pumpkin spice lovers, this is for you. My chosen portion. I'm not a coffee drinker. I do like hot chocolate though, and I think this is adorable. So this just has But First Jesus, #blessed. The Lord is my chosen portion and my cup. You hold my lot. Psalm 16:5. And those are a little bit of a sneak peek of what you can do with it. I did do something fun with this one as well. So let me kind of move on to that. Let me clean this up a little bit. Okay. So let's talk about these. So this was the one I was talking about, my chosen portion, and I did the little pumpkin on this side in the center of that. And then what I did is I took texture paste and I added some of the Tim Holtz glitter on top. Now this is the regular clear glitter, and it just creates a fun little whipped cream topping on top of that. I also have this sewing machine. I did emboss it, and then what I did was I just took some embroidery thread and created kind of like zigzagged it back and forth on that spool, and then I took another line and just followed that same line that was stamped down. Now you could definitely go in more detail with this. This is not one that I will necessarily use for a Bible journaling page. I definitely think I'm going to do this in my Bible, but if I was, then I would just kind of go more in depth and maybe use some gold in here. I think that would be really cool. These are those scissors that came as a little added bonus for those of you who spent over $37 in your little goodie bag. Now I did gold foil these, and then I sprayed it with some of the Tim Holtz mica spray to get this coppery look. And then I added just a little bit of definition in the little fun cut out areas. And I just think it's so fun. I probably would have used a lighter spray because it kind of takes away from the embossing look, but I still like it and it's a good idea. I feel like I can go somewhere with this. Now guys, this is the embroidery hoop, and let me show you real quick. So I keep my bags from By the Wall for God, and some of them I save to use as storage, but a lot of times I love to stamp on them. So I actually stamped the embroidery hoop in fabric on it, and then I stamped it again on some wood paper that I have to create the hoop, and then I just added some paper to the back that was just some throwaway scrap paper I had to add some stiffness to it, and then I just created little X's with some hand sewing stitching. So yeah, I think that is super cool. You could even write something if you wanted to stitch some writing like of your title for the page. This is going to be an awesome thing, and all I did was just stamp it on my canvas bag. So don't let these go to waste. If you don't use them, stamp on them and do fun stuff with them because they're a great texture to use. Now I had that wood paper like I said, and then I also, so I stamped this spool on it, and then I also stamped it on the canvas again, and then cut out this little ribbon measuring tape. I just thought that was really cool and added a different texture to this one. Now that is this wonderfully made one. This little lamb is just adorable. I love her. And I added a little bit of pink to her cheeks. And then this is how that verse stamps out. So it's very clear. I did use VersaFine ink. That is my favorite ink to use for like everything almost. So I suggest using something like that because it's going to give you a clear impression once you stamp it. Sometimes if you use like a distress oxide or whatnot, it's not going to give you that clear impression. So this is a tag that I've had in my stash to use for a long time. And I just decided to add some of those sewing or stitching stamps to it. And I could come back to it and just use my embroidery floss and add some actual stitching to the lines, which I think I will probably do. But if you don't have time to do that or don't wish to do that, you could definitely use it just plainly stamped as is. I think it adds something fun to it. You could also use embossing glaze or embossing powder on these to add a different dimension to kind of make it stand out. Obviously, if this tag wasn't as busy, it would stand out more, but that's why I think I'm going to add that embroidery floss to these stitching details. But I love this. This is the Gift Ave. Now, obviously, I didn't go crazy on this. I just used 4 colors of Distress Oxide. I would obviously go more in depth if I was actually creating this for a Christmas card or for a decor piece. But this kind of gives you a, like, kind of a little sneak peek of what it could be. So I think if you haven't decided if you do Christmas cards in the first place, but if you haven't decided what to do for Christmas cards, this would be a really cool thing to do. Another idea I have is to buy some Tim Holtz tiny lights, those little lights that you can put behind stuff, and just threading some, I don't know, the candles or the star or something, and threading it behind and just poking those lights through. I think that would just be such a fun look. Now, this is that cable knit background stamp. Let me move this. So this is just stamped in black. All I did, let me grab it. Well, let's see if I can grab it. Sorry. Let's see. Okay. I don't even use my, my big block for this or my stamp positioning tool. All I do is I peel off this back side and use the thicker plastic on the back to just lay it down and just kind of press it down. Obviously, it's a background stamp, so it's not going to make that big of a difference if you don't have the exact right pressure. So this is with that Versa Fine black ink, and then I also tried it with archival ink in Vintage Photo. Obviously, you can see here I didn't press down as hard in those couple areas, but like I said, it's a background stamp, so it doesn't matter too much. If you feel like you need a really good impression, make sure to use a stamp positioning tool or just be really good with a stamping block, but I just don't find that it's that important being a background stamp. Okay, and the last thing I have to show you guys is this stencil. So for this one, I used Tattered Rose in the background and then just laid it down and used the Abandoned Coral and kind of went through like that. And then since I had Abandoned Coral already out, I laid that down and then I went through with some regular, let's grab it, regular texture paste. Now you could do so much stuff. There's so many different texture pastes and grit paste. I can't get it out. But anyways, it was just some regular Distress texture paste. And I went through it and it's white when you start. But as it sits there and dries, it's kind of going to leach the color from the back. And it's so cool how it does this. So it turns it into this peach color. It's not going to be the exact color in the background, but just kind of leaches that color out and gives you this yellow kind of peach color for the mannequins, and I just think it looks so fun. So those are all the little ideas I have for these. Obviously, I'll be working in this kit and probably thinking of some more ideas. So make sure to follow me over on Instagram at Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. You can also follow me obviously on here. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and thank you guys so much for watching this. If you haven't purchased this kit yet and want to purchase it, I will leave my affiliate link down below. Thank you for everyone who has used that affiliate link. It really means so much to me, so thank you so much for doing that. I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Let me know down below if you have any ideas for this kit, and I can't wait to hear about them. I'll talk to you later. Bye.